Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars and some of my favourite people. And we've got two for you today. Alijaz and Janette are two of the biggest stars ever to come out of Strictly Come Dancing. And they've had a life in dance, which is therefore not surprising that they're going to be going on tour in 2017 with Remembering Fred, a wonderful tribute to the fabulous Fred Astaire. I'm delighted to say these two stars of Strictly join us on the phone now. How are you doing?
Hello.
Hello. Very good. How are you?
Well, I'm not as good as you, Alijaz. When I look at your pictures, and you too, Janette, I mean, you're both delicious. I'm a deeply unattractive man. It must be wonderful to be you.
You know what? Don't say that. We haven't met you yet properly, so we're going to judge that when we see you.
You've got to be physically fit, of course, to do what you do. But what's great about Strictly, and the reason I think it's the big hit that it is because it's so damn glamorous. People love that, don't they?
Yeah, I think for the women especially, we love getting put in beautiful, sparkly, gorgeous dresses and then getting the hair and makeup done and the lashes done. And then for the gentlemen, it's really nice to see them in their tail suits. And when they're doing all of the Latin numbers, just to see a man wearing a pink tight top with some sparkle is always fun as well. So I think the whole getting Strictlified side of it is always really appealing to everyone.
What's, of course, very interesting is that you've done this your whole life. This isn't something that you decided to do for the telly. This is your passion, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we've both been dancing pretty much for all of our lives. And therefore, to be here in UK on the best show on television, to have that opportunity to be performing for millions, it really is a blessing. So we're both really lucky and grateful that we are here. And we fall in love with the UK now, and we sort of feel like it is our home together. So we're both really, really happy.
Alijaz, tell me about your beginnings, where you started and how you got here.
I started dancing really early. I was 5 years old. I found myself into a dance school, and I competed for all of my really school years, all of my teenage years. When I was 18, I decided I don't want to be competing anymore, and I had a year of a break from dancing, and then a theater show came along, an offer to audition for a Broadway show called Burn the Floor, and I went to audition, and I got the job, and sort of I never looked back really, and then that's how we both got into Strictly. We were performing on West End, and producers from BBC came to watch the show to look for new professionals, and they offered a job to myself and Janette, and which was just incredible that both of us, being a couple, that both of us got a job on Strictly Come Dancing at the same time. I mean, it was a span of 5 minutes really, so it was an incredible experience, a memory, and so we're still really pretty much living that dancing dream of ours.
Yeah, how thrilling. And then we look at your life, another incredible story of success and tenacity, Janette.
Oh, wow, yeah. Mine's a little bit different from Alijaz. I started doing musical theater when I was a kid at 12, and then actually continued doing that till I was about 18. But then I started working at a bank full-time, and I was going to university studying finance, and dancing was something that I did more on the side as a hobby and something that I just loved to do. And so when I auditioned for So You Think You Can Dance in the USA, I auditioned for it just on a whim, thinking, oh, well, nothing's ever going to come of that, but I'll give it a shot anyway. And it was the best decision I've ever made, because So You Think You Can Dance went really, really well. I moved to LA, started working as a dancer in LA. Needless to say, quit my job as a banker, and then landed a world tour and a West End show, and that all led me now to doing Strictly Come Dancing. So it's all been kind of a big snowball effect for me. It's all happened in the last maybe 10 years, and I've loved it. I've been really, really lucky, really blessed. I've also worked very hard because I didn't start young, and I had to be dancing next to people like Alijaz, for example, who had been dancing since they were 5. So it took a lot of hard work and a lot of dedication and a lot of perseverance, but I got there. I got there in the end.
Interesting. I mean, when we look at how people get on that show and why some become more famous than others, it's very interesting, isn't it? Because you two stuck out from the beginning and people seem to find an affinity with you. Is there any recipe for that, or is that just a God-given gift?
I would never say there's a recipe for it. I think that, as I said before, we're just always, it's always in the back of our head that there's thousands and thousands of dancers around the world, and we're one of that selected few. I think it's 18 of us now on the show that get that opportunity and get that chance to choreograph, to create numbers for the show. And so if you are just if you're just a normal person, you just stay a normal person. Strictly is on for 5 months of a year, so I mean, we do try to work as much as we can, but obviously our priority is always gonna be Strictly Come Dancing, and I just don't ever see ourselves as anything but dancers and choreographers, and if people like what you do, that's only a plus. It's only a blessing, really. But yeah, I don't really see a reason why you wouldn't be nice and lovely, because we're just so happy with where we are and who we work for.
And does life get any better than this? To be successful, to be popular, to be in work, to be a TV star, to be hot, to be young. I mean, you are both living the dream, aren't you?
Yeah, we are living the dream, but like Alijaz said, I think the biggest thing is to maintain humbled and grateful, and because showbiz is so fickle. One day you're up and the next day you're down. It's constantly changing. People are always, nowadays with social media being the way that it is, there's so many opinions being thrown about anything now. So I think that as long as you stay level-headed and your feet are well planted in the ground and you keep doing what you love honestly and wholeheartedly, you should be just grateful and happy to have that. And to be young and to be doing Strictly Come Dancing as a couple, and to be meeting the people that we get to meet and working with the people that we get to work with really, really is a blessing for us. And I think the moment you lose sight of that, the moment you think that you deserve things or that this is the way it should be, is the moment that maybe you need to start changing fields. Because we get so excited every year when we get called back for Strictly. We get so excited when we find out who our new celeb is, what the dance is going to be that we're going to do the next week, maybe what tour we're going to be getting up to next year, what different shows we're going to be a part of. And having that excitement, but also maintaining that humility for Alijaz and I is very important.
And how wonderful that you've got your unity together. If we can talk about that for a moment, I think it's so inspiring that you have that bond, because let's face it, Strictly, they've sort of loved the tabloid people to talk about the Strictly curse and all of that. The unity between you two is so wonderful, and to have that together must be a true joy.
Yeah, I think it all just comes down to trust and love, and I love Alijaz more than anything in the world, and I trust him more than anyone in the world. So I don't ever have a single doubt in my mind that we are going into that show to work and to create memories and to create magic that hopefully people will enjoy watching on Saturday night. And for us, that is the only thing that the show is about.
And let's face it, you can't split people up. If they've got a rocky relationship, going on Strictly is not going to help. But that's not down to you, is it? That's not the show's fault.
Yeah, I never think that's really down to Strictly. It always goes down to individuals. And I mean, from our side, when it gets to being on the show and doing the show, the schedule and rehearsals are so ruthless. It's really a lot of time we put into this show. So for us, we are only busy in our head with the show and the choreography. You really don't have much time to think about anything else, really, to be honest.
Then we move forward to 2017, and what an amazing year it's going to be for you to be part of this huge production, remembering Fred. And let's face it, you're tapping into something that's gold dust before it even starts. People love that heritage, the history, and of course those moves. Now the pressure's on you to recreate them.
That's what we're trying to avoid. We don't really want people to think we are trying to be Fred and Ginger, because I don't think anyone could ever be Fred and Ginger. But yeah, we are very, very excited. I think Fred Astaire is someone that has inspired so many people. On Eugene Kelly's one of his biggest inspirations was Fred Astaire. And you think that if Gene Kelly was inspired by Fred Astaire, I mean, wow, he's just a true legend, honestly. So for us to be doing this show, we are so excited because American Smooth is a big form of dance now on Strictly Come Dancing, and everyone sees it on the Saturday night, and they know what it's about. And really, American Smooth was created by Fred Astaire. So for us to be able to pay homage to him and all the things that he's done for dance and for movies and for music and singing and for anything that he puts his hands on, we are really, really, really looking forward to and excited about. We love him. I think Alijaz is one of the most stylish dancers I have ever seen, so I'm really excited to see Alijaz in just a top hat and tails doing his rendition of Fred. So yeah, we've got two singers. We've got a male vocalist and a female vocalist, because obviously that there's a part of Fred that he loves to sing, and he sang in his films. And then we've also got 4 tap dancers and commercial dancers to represent all the tapping that Fred did, and then Alijaz there to bring a little bit of the partnership that Fred created with all of his different partners, not just Ginger Rogers. And then a beautiful live orchestra, not orchestra, sorry, a live band. And then we've got a few celebrities that have, influenced him, and they're going to be talking about how Fred Astaire has influenced them in their lives. So really, it's going to be an amazing night, and we can't wait to get started, really.
Yeah, and it's lovely they're putting money into this properly and making it a big production, because let's face it, that era during Fred's time was pure glamour, pure indulgence and big budget productions, wasn't it?
Yeah, and that was one of the main things. As soon as the idea was presented to us, we always had that in the back of our heads for the last 4 years, really, since we started doing Strictly, that we do want to do something that is sort of more ours, sort of going more towards maybe touring on our own. But when the idea about doing the show Remembering Fred got presented to us, both of us just sort of grabbed it with both hands, because, it just sounded so appealing straight away, and we knew it's going to be a lovely production. We knew it's going to be a proper tour, and as soon as we sort of got more into details, we just fall in love with it even more. So it's really, really, really exciting to be, especially for the first time touring the UK. We both love it, and to see places that we haven't been yet and doing it with this beautiful show is going to be really special.
Yeah, how incredible and exciting. When do you start rehearsals?
We start rehearsals in March, so we still, we're probably busy from January, February. We don't know yet, but probably doing the Strictly Come Dancing live tour. So we've got to finish that in February, and then we'll start rehearsals for Remembering Fred the whole month of March, and our first show is in April, beginning of April.
Rememberingfred.co.uk is the website where you can get all the tour details. Travelling the whole of the UK, rememberingfred.co.uk. In terms of this time of year for you, I know you had a bad run this year, Janette, going up first with Melvin. Does your heart sink sometimes when you're with somebody who you think the public are not necessarily going to gel to or like? Because we look at our balls this year, I don't think Melvin was any worse than him, but the reality is the public seem to love a car crash more than average, don't they?
Do you know what? Melvin is one of the most incredible people I have ever worked with. He is so sincerely friendly and kind and hardworking. And even though it was a short one, I absolutely loved every day that I spent with that man. And we got to do the Christmas special together now as well. He was brought back to do the Christmas special, which was beautiful. And I can't wait for you guys to all watch it on Christmas Day. It was an incredible show. It's not really for me and Alijaz. It's not really about getting someone that you know is going to be popular and you know is going to be an amazing dancer. For us, it's more about getting someone that you get on with, because you just never know what the journey is going to be like. Sometimes you get eliminated week 1 like I did, but sometimes you go and win it like Alijaz did. So, if whatever the case is going to be, you want it to be with someone that you enjoy spending time with and you get on with, because it is such a roller coaster of a ride doing that show. You have ups and downs, and you have long hours, and you're exhausted all the time. So more than anything, you just want someone that you get on with, really. Yeah.
And again, you're spending hours and hours and hours with them, probably more than your partner. So if it's not going well, it's going to be an awfully long autumn, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, do you know what? Ed Balls, in my opinion, is the epitome of what Strictly Come Dancing is all about. Yeah. Here's someone who used to be a politician, who's never danced before, and has now decided to get spray tans and put on sparkly shirts and spandex and get out there and do the salsa to the Gangnam Style, you know?
Yeah.
And that, I think that's incredible entertainment value. I think it's beautiful that we see someone really get out of their comfort zone completely, not, you know, let go of all the inhibitions and just see what happens and have fun.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed watching Ed. I was really sad when he left this weekend because I think he was just such a good representation of the British public and what Strictly Come Dancing is really all about.
Well, and again, we love that, don't we? And then we move forward. Last week on the programme, I had Len Goodman, and he said that they're not making a decision until the new year. Do you have any opinion about who should replace him? Do you care? Does it even matter?
No, I mean, to be honest, we're normally the last ones in the loop when it gets to decisions like the production makes. But
yeah.
I mean, we have an incredible team of producers on this show, and we both believe that whoever they're gonna put, I don't ever think anyone is gonna replace Len. I just think there's gonna be a new judge coming in. I think he's absolutely irreplaceable. He's one of the huge reasons why the show is as successful.
Yeah, he's utterly charming, isn't he?
Exactly. I mean, he's just a lovely gentleman and an incredible judge, an incredible personality. So whoever is going to be coming in to be a new judge, you know, it's going to be big shoes to fill, but I don't think it's going to be a new Len. I just think it's going to be a new judge. And whoever that's going to be, we all know for sure that producers and our bosses are going to make perfect decisions.
Well, you're part of the #1 show on TV, and God bless both of you. Good luck with the new tour. Remembering Fred.co.uk takes to the stage from March. We'll hope you on the Strictly tour as well. Alijaz and Janette are two of the biggest stars ever to come out of Strictly Come Dancing. Thank you so much for coming on. It's so lovely to talk to you. You are two big stars, and we love you very much. And keep being delicious. You don't know what a blessing it is. Imagine having my face. Great to talk to you both.
Me too, Ali.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Huge pleasure. See you on tour.